Hey guys, how are you doing? So today I'm actually doing this video from the closet. Yes. Um, but today is going to be a different kind of video because today I want to talk to you about who Theresa Romer really is. Um, and it came to my attention the other day. Uh, I ran into a fan, follower, whatever you want to call you guys, at my book signing. And she'd already purchased the book in advance, and she was there so that I could sign it. And she said, "You know what? I'd always known you as the closet lady, and I was quite intrigued with that, but I thought you were just this rich lady that had this really pretty closet, and I just really didn't know a lot about you, Theresa." And I said, "Oh, okay." And she said, "But you know what? I read your book, and you are not like that person. I mean, like, that's the life you live." But she said, I found out who you really are. It's in the book." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You need to tell the world. Instead of, I understand it's in the book, but how many, and yes, the book's going to get sold to a lot of people, but all of those people that don't buy the book just because they don't know really what's in it, they don't know your story, Theresa." And I was like, wow, you're right. And so that's what compelled me to do this video today. And in that book, Naked in 30 Days, I talk about my life. And it's a life that most of you don't know because you've only seen what's in the media and you've only seen the life that I'm living right now. You don't know where I came from. I came from a small ranch when I was a little girl in Nebraska, and far, far, far away from the closest city. And, we didn't run to doctors for everything. And I had to start learning how to milk cows at 6, 7, 8 years old. And we had tough times. We wore hand-me-downs. I mean, but it was the life I knew. I didn't know a different life. And so, consequently, also, because we didn't go to town all the time, I came down with rheumatic fever 4 different times as a child, which gave me a heart murmur, which, in turn, going to all the doctors as a little girl, was told I would never be a normal little girl, that I would have to stay inside a lot. I'd be sick a lot. I would never get to be outside and run and play like most little kids. And I would definitely never probably have children because it would be too taxing on my heart. And I went against those odds. I said, you can't tell me that I can't be like all the other little kids. And so, long story short, I became a world-class athlete, and I went on to get into the fitness world and got divorced at the age of 29, had 2 little kids, didn't know how to support myself because I had been just a stay-at-home mom, and took my passion for fitness that I used to do as a hobby and turned it into a living. And started my own personal training businesses. And, I was so poor and broke when I got divorced that I literally had my first place I rented was a little 1-bedroom house. And I rented it from this little lady, and I didn't even have furniture. I didn't even have beds. And so she literally took a couple mattresses out of her attic in her garage and threw them on the floor. And me and my children slept on mattresses on the floor with no furniture, nothing, for quite some time before I was able to save up enough money to get us beds. Then started, personal training, and that took off. And I bought my first health club in 1995. And along the roads, during a period of time with that health club, it flooded because of a roof problem, and the city was going to shut me down if I could not repair it and make things right, and I didn't have the money. So I literally put my house on the market, um, and moved into the back of my health club, and me and my children lived in the back of my health club for a year so that I could take every penny I made and put it right back into that health club to make sure that health club stayed open. um, Lost my brother at the age of 23. Was devastated. What kept me going into that deep dark hole was fitness. Fitness. 2006, I lost my son in a tragic car accident at the age of 19. Now, I'm telling you what, there's nothing in this world that scares me now, because the scariest thing I ever encountered was having to look at my son in a coffin and put him into the ground. 2010, I buried my dad way too young. 2011, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro so that I could help raise funds for Child Legacy International. I almost died on that mountain. I had contracted a parasite, did not know it, and it almost took me down. By the time I got off that mountain, I had 104 fever, lost 13 pounds, was severely dehydrated, had high altitude sickness, had blood coming from every orifice of my body. Yes, do I have a nice life right now? You bet I do. But you know what? I have worked my behind off to be where I'm at now. And isn't that the all-American dream? The all-American dream is get out there, make money, and provide yourself with the life that you want. That's all of us. All of us do that. We all strive to own our own home someday. We all strive to own a beautiful vehicle. We all strive to have nice clothes. We all there's things, all of us are different, but we all have things that we strive to have in life. Why? Because that's just the American way. And yet I repeatedly get shunned for the life that I live. Well, this life didn't get handed to me. I just didn't marry into it. I mean, I have worked milking cows, delivering newspapers, bussing tables, lifeguarding, waitressing, you name it. I remember when I got divorced from my ex-husband, I was doing 4 part-time jobs, taking 16 credit hours at the college, raising my 2 kids. How did I do that? I would get like 3 hours of sleep a night. But you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. And I've always had tenacity. I've always been a go-getter. And I've always been one of these people that puts a dream out there and I make it happen. And so I just wanted to share a little tiny bit of my world with you so that you would understand and come to know the real Theresa Romer. Not the Theresa Romer that you see living in the big house with a 3,000 square foot closet driving a Rolls Royce. This is the real Theresa that has overcome every adversity that has been thrown at her. I have never given up. I've never said no. I've never said I can't do it. So if there's one thing I can leave with you is on this journey, I'm going to continue to let you see the real Theresa Romer. The Theresa Romer that most of you never got to know because you weren't on that journey with me then. You've only been on this journey that I'm on now. So along with all the other videos that I do with, showing my lifestyle and everything I'm doing, I'm going to start putting out more and more inspirational videos for you because that's really the person I am. I inspire people, I motivate people because I'm inspired and motivated myself. So I just like to pass it along. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. There's more of this to come. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this.